rear lift kit. So I'm gonna run you down to where I'm at. Front wheel's chalked off. Truck is in 4x4, left in gear, because I'm lifting the back end, so there's nothing holding the front from actually rolling away. And that'll, you know, hold it. Next, I got railway ties, the exact same way that I lifted the front, with some pneumatic bottle jacks on the frame. Then I got the floor jack holding the diff up. And under here, there's a bolt that goes through. That's a 15/16, and then there's a nut all the way up in here. So I got that with a wrench, started taking this out with an impact, and it was too big. So I switched to the electric, and then that was too big. So I took the rest out with a wrench. Now I was hoping to do one side, so I get the whole thing completed, and then I was just gonna run you through the other side, but I can't get this to come down any further, even if I drop the axle and everything, because it's being held up by that side. So I actually have to undo both sides and do the entire thing together. And this one here is also a 15/16, and this one right here is a T55 Torx, because, you know, that's not gonna strip. But, you know, whatever, it's what we gotta work with. I've used almost an entire can penetrating fluid on the front and the back. Gonna have to buy more of this. To stop that nut from stripping, I used a MAP gas torch, and I held that on there for about 2 minutes, just to make sure all of the rust that was on the end of the bolt was very hot and malleable, which in theory makes them really easy to install, because it's got this little tab, and you just kind of shove it in there, and you hold it in place with this, and that stops it from spinning or whatever, and then you shove the bolt through. You torque it all down and everything. So the design is there. Good job on that. The part that sucks is the corrosion, and this is just super thin, malleable, like tin. After a year or so in Canada, they become nothing. They have no rigidity at all. So getting them out absolutely sucks. This side is out. That side's almost out. In here is where that nut goes. And this is the bolts coming out. The axle's supported with the floor jack, wire brushed, take care of all the rust, because, you know, that's doing nothing. And basically, I've just been sitting here trying to get this out. Maybe that'll work. I forgot that I own this thing. I've never used it. That was easier. I just gotta knock that out. So now I gotta take these out. That has some random ass nut on it. Great. That's not gonna suck. God damn it. Yeah, fucker. Where's a 19mm wrench? I'll make sure this is supported. Oh yeah, that's not super inconvenient or anything. I'm gonna be at this forever. Oh god, this sucks. I had to use a torch, I had to use penetrating fluid. It took forever. Finally got it. Cool. Okay. I don't want to overextend that brake line. That's as much as we can go. But now I can get right to these. This is going to be a 15/16. Oh yeah. And then a T55. Not a lot of corrosion in there. It's stopping that from going in. Every part of this is going to suck. Oh my god. There was just so much corrosion that I tried to use it. It completely stripped out. File down this. Clamp them down with everything I got. Oh god. Give it a little spray. Now just sit here until all the penetrating fluid evaporates. Now let's just hope for the best. How am I gonna get this off? Clamp. And I'm just gonna kind of slam it in here. That'll at least hold this from falling out. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Well, now these bolts are a 7/16 Allen head. I just gotta install this thing. Joy. I just gotta let this bolt cool down, because I gotta reuse these, grind out the end, so that way it's a lot cleaner, and then it'll actually be Allen head, because I'm gonna cut it into one. Well, you used to be a Torx something. This is the one that I hammered in here. It's a 7/16 Allen head, but you can see it's kind of wobbly. So you can see those little areas of where it pressed the steel down because it was so hot it essentially forged this thing. Let's take a rotary tool with a little diamond grinding bit. And I'm going to try and grind those down to make it as flat as possible. So then this will fit perfectly all the way down. So that's not going to be an issue. I'll be able to fix this, no big deal. Next, we have the nut that goes on. I have to file this down, clean it up, and then I gotta run this M16 by 2.0 tap to clean it up, because you can kind of hear it there. It's pretty crusty in there. Then again, M16 by 2.0 die, and I will do that all the way down the bolt. And since I'm here doing all this nonsense work for no reason, I might as well clean up the end with a file. Maybe clean this up too. That's all ground out. Oh, hear that click? So that fits like flawless. Well, it's not the greatest in the world. But it's definitely better than it was. Oh my god, I wish I had a vise. Shit. Made my own vise. Ow, that's hot. Threads are looking a lot better, so I'm content with that. That still looks like garbage, but I guess it's fine. It ain't the greatest, but it'll do. Most of you are probably thinking that I'm absolutely fucking insane right now, and I should just get new bolts. Unlike the BMW stuff, where I couldn't get parts because we don't have a dealer, so that makes sense, we do have a Chrysler dealer, so I can get parts. But the issue, our Chrysler dealer is full of a bunch of assholes with their heads too far up their ass to actually take anyone's word for anything. If there is even a chance they can tell you that you're wrong, they will. An example of this is when I had my old Mercedes. It was a W203, a C240, and the C32 had the option for having a little LED license plate bulb, but it had like a little PCB and everything on it, and in the plastic housing, it was actually formed to fit the clip that goes inside. So all you have to do is just take the screws out, pop the license plate bracket, bulb bracket things out, and you just toss those, and the new ones literally just clip right into the factory wiring harness and they just bolt right up. You don't get an error code on the dash or anything. It's literally direct plug and play. And I wanted those. So I went to the dealer, could be because Chrysler owns Mercedes, and that's where we get our Mercedes parts. It's at the Chrysler dealer. Short story long here, I went in and I even gave them the part number and everything because I found them online, but I wanted to order through the dealer and, you know, support local and everything. And before they even looked up the part number, they asked what my VIN was. And I said, I don't know, I don't have the car here right now. I ended up bringing my truck there, and the car was still at home, so I didn't have the VIN. They essentially just kind of went on their high horse there, and they're like, oh, okay, well, there's nothing we can do for you. I gave you guys the part number. That's the exact part that I want to order. And they said, well, if we can't look up your VIN, then we can't confirm that's for your vehicle. And I said, it's not for my vehicle, it's for a C32. And I have a C240. And the guy behind the counter goes, oh, no, that's not going to work. And I was like, how is that not going to work? He's like, those are completely different cars. A little bit thrown off, I just asked, well, how is the license plate wiring different between a C240 and a C32? And then some other guy behind the counter pipes in and he goes, oh, one of those cars is an AMG, therefore the wiring is completely different, so they won't even plug in. Then he started to tell me I'm going to cause damage to the vehicle and all of this other stuff because I wanted to put in LED license plate lights. And then it started to get very heated when he decided to tell me, the original guy, how I should let the professionals change in a license plate light bulb because they know what they're doing, and clearly I would have ordered the wrong part and I would have caused damage to my vehicle. I'm really glad changing a license plate bulb is so far over my head, or I'd have no idea what to do. Wow, that is a ridiculously tight cut. Anyway, end of the story. I ended up going to Duluth. I ordered the part for the car. There wasn't a damn thing wrong with it. Plugged right in, worked perfect, no codes, no issues. Literally because their computer said that that wasn't an original part for a C240. And because their computer said so, that means that my entire credibility is thrown out the window. And they suddenly know more than me because their computer screen says something different than what I said. What I'm doing right now is essentially morals. I would rather sit here fixing a bolt than to ever support that place. I don't care how long my truck has to sit. I will never give them a cent, especially after the dealer in Duluth essentially laughed at them. Both of those cars are W203s. They're the exact same platform, same wiring harness. The only wiring that would be different would be the engine side wiring harness. They had no idea where that dealer would have even got that information from, considering they are the identical car. They just have a different engine. And then for them to tell me that I need to let the professionals change a license plate bulb, that was kind of the last straw. So now I'm fixing some bolts. All because the Chrysler dealer just can't get their head out of their ass and actually listen to customers. They have to be right, even if I know what I'm talking about. Oh, and the best part was they actually refused to order it still. They basically said they're not ordering it because they're not going to do a return when I find out that it doesn't work. I may not be the best at all the things that I have to do. At least I can always make it work. Unlike my life. Like this new Vice that I have. And there we go. It's about as close to new that thing's getting. I'll finish all the bolts. We'll start yelling at the new parts that have to go in. These are the upper bolts and nuts. This one's all cleaned up. Cut all those little tabs off so I could pop this off. Filed it all down. Now I just gotta do this one. It's kind of crazy that these are the same thing. So this is for a 2-inch lift in the rear, which I don't fully understand how this works because that's a lot longer than 2 inches. So maybe this is 3, maybe this is a 2-inch lift because this would be 2 inches right here. 3? I don't know. So all of this is just going to be hand tight for now. First thing I gotta do here is anti-seize everything. This just goes in here. Right through there. Perfect. Well, good fitment. Yeah, this nut can go on. Now that can go up there. I'm gonna get the other side ready. Now we can jack the axle up. Good, good. Everything's fine, everything's good. The fit? Almost. It's getting there. In. Yeah, that's in enough. I'm not gonna hook the shocks up yet. I might have to take that out. Actually, I don't even have to, because now that it's so far down, I can easily access this bolt. And if anything, it'd be going back up. Because if it is too tall in the rear, then I go up to this one. Okay, well, I guess I can put the lower shock bolts back in, and for whatever reason mine were all messed up, so one side was a 19, the other one was a 21. I might as well fix these. So realistically, cleaning those bolts up was a complete waste of time. So I'm just going to cut that whole section out, and you're not going to have any idea what I'm talking about, but you're just going to notice that those bolts just magically got a lot cleaner, and I got suddenly dirtier for some reason, just like magic. So now I can put the shocks in. What a giant waste of time. So I want to put this in this way, so that way if I have to hammer on it, I have more area to swing. Whoa. There's a cat. And let's just get this on here. Oh, now it's got it. Ow. God damn it. Now I can put that nut on. Just gonna sit here for a minute and contemplate my existence as to why I do the things that I do. Then I can take the jack out and drop the frame jacks and see the height that we're at. So now the last part here, rough country suspension systems. 3/4 ton Dodge Car Bear Derp. Now I bought this because I thought I needed it, and I don't understand what it's for. This is for the carrier bearing on the drive shaft. The carrier bearing bolts up here, and then the split drive shaft goes in the middle, and it drops it down. So that way the drive shaft is at an appropriate angle. 3/4 ton, 3/4 ton, and it has a drop bracket. And the rust on this is equally as rusty as the rest of the truck. And I bought this truck completely stock. So where does that even attach? Like, I don't get it. It has a drop bracket from factory that is bigger than the one that I bought. Maybe someone can enlighten me on what that's for. And I dropped it down just to check the height. And this second one here was actually too big. So I consulted, and it's 3-inch actually. So this first one is a 2-inch lift in the rear. This one is 3-inch. And because it's now an 8-inch lift in the front, those are 4-inch blocks. Then with the 2-inch up here, that makes it a 6-inch lift, which a leveling kit for this truck is 1.5 to 2 inches. So by putting it at 3, that makes this between 1/2 inch to 1 inch higher in the rear, because the truck naturally sits higher in the back. So a 2-inch leveling kit would add 2 inches to the front to level it out. And they say 1.5 to 2 inches is because newer suspension, 2 inches is going to be level. worn out old suspension is going to be 1.5 because the rear will have taken weight for many years. So 1.5 will make that level because the back will naturally be sitting a little bit lower because of the wear. So now this is at 2 inches. I just had to adjust that and everything is good. And now all I gotta do is somehow figure out how to get this nut in here. Okay, yeah, that's falling out. Good, awesome. Oh god, the wrench is stuck. Oh no, that was doing absolutely nothing. Deadly. See, that's why they put that tab on that thing. With the factory nut, it has a little tab that goes all the way around, and then you just hold it up with the tab, and then it just, you know, works. I'm just gonna try and weasel my hand in here like an asshole. Oh, you fucking slut. Okay, let's try that again. I got a whole 2 fingers in here. Just enough. Anyway, that's on now. Get in. Okay. Ow, fucker. Ow, fuck. God damn, fucking damn piece of shit. Fuck. Ow. Making these fucking videos makes this such a long and tedious process. Oh my god. Anyway, that's in there. Fucking solid. Everything's good. Everything's fine. Awesome. Deadly. Oh, that's absolutely terrifying. Good. Good. Perfect. Just take that out real quick. Hey, that's stuck now. Wait, I think I can get it. Come on. Bastard. Okay, there we go. When I was jacking this up at the beginning, I had to put these in and I couldn't get them in because it wasn't low enough to actually get it under the frame. So I had to jack it up from the diff to get the height to put these in. And now it like just fit. It's like the exact height. If I were a tape measure, where would I put myself that's not where it's supposed to go? If anyone ever wants to know what ADHD looks like, this is what ADHD looks like. I can't put the battery away because I haven't installed it. And if I move it, I'll forget that I had to install it. Jumper cables, because I have to move that car. So if I put those away, I'm going to forget that I have to move the car. Then I got all this shit up here because I'm building new cabinets. And if I put any of this away, then I'm just going to completely forget that I never finished that. And then it's going to sit there forever in the way. I got all this scrap metal here. I don't have a spot for scrap metal yet. Like I don't have like a dedicated place. So if I just move that somewhere, then that will become the dedicated place and I'll never end up moving it again. I don't know. It's fun living in complete chaos. So anyway, let's measure. 43. And this should be roughly 1 inch to 2 inches lower. 41.5. So it's 1.5 inches lower in the back, which is good because the bed physically sits higher. So that means, in theory, the truck should be exactly level. All right. As if. That never happens. Yeah, so now I gotta torque everything down. So we can start with those bottom shock bolts. I mean, not like it really matters at all that I was putting load on it before torquing them because the bushings are completely blown out anyway. But, you know, it's always good practice just to do it the way it's supposed to. But those ones are 136 Newton meters or 100 foot-pounds. And those were the 21s. Perfect. Can do these ones up here that go to the frame. Those are 163 Newton meters or 120 foot-pounds. These last ones are gonna suck. Those ones are 230 Newton meters or 170 foot-pounds. Hey, puppy! How's it going? Are you helping? What is this? Well, there we go. 8-inch lift is done. I got the wheels all cleaned up and everything. Pretty much the entire frame's cleaned up. I still have these brackets from the step sides that I have to take off. Obviously, I gotta do the rocker panels, cab corners, new rear window. I have to do the bed sides. I have all those panels. The only thing that I actually have to buy is the rear window. Except the last time that I got that changed, that rear window was $1,200, and that didn't even include the install. So that thing's gonna be the last piece of the puzzle before winter. I have little pod lights that go in the bumper. Still have to install those. And once those are installed, I have to figure out some kind of double relay thing. The light bar wiring harness is connected directly to my high beam, so when I put the high beams on, the light bar turns on automatically. And when I'm backing up, I don't want those little LED pods in the bumper to be going on and blinding everyone. So I'm trying to figure out some kind of like double relay thing so I can have the light bar harness activate a relay that allows the relay harness for the reverse lights to activate the pods. So when the light bar is not on, the reverse lights won't activate the pods. So that's kind of my thought process there, but you can definitely see all of the scratches still. It's pretty good. But at the same time, you know, this truck's had a really hard life. Obviously, you know, cab corners. I started cutting this one out here at the top, and then I never finished because, you know, life happens and all that junk. But for now, I'm pretty much done with the truck this year. It's currently first week of October, so this video isn't going to be going up till, oh, actually, I guess it's going up on Christmas. So I guess, you know, happy holidays to all the assholes that watch these videos. And I hope you have a good one and all that junk. You know, stay safe, drink a lot. The only thing else that I'm doing is I'm gonna bring this thing to a shop and get a new rear window put in. And then next year we get to start doing all the body work. And I'm kind of on the fence right now. I'm not really sure what to do with the front end. The whole reason it's matte black right now is because of the Dodge Dart Superstock. The whole front end on that car is matte black, and I figured I'd try it out on the stock parts because I wanted to do the facelift, and I kind of dig it. I like the way that it looks. Now at this point in the truck's life, I'm not really sure the direction that I want to go with this because I've been looking at these things online and they just keep going up in value. And I'm not saying like a third gen Dodge Ram, but I'm talking specifically the 2500 and 3500 if you get it in the SLT Laramie. It's like the full black leather power everything interior with the 8-foot bed and the NV 4500 heavy duty manual transmission with a Hemi. This is like an unbelievably rare combination. So if you have one of these, I highly suggest you restore it, because right now the cheapest one that I was able to find was $27,000 Canadian. And like the whole reason I wanted to put work into it is because I saw a couple of these selling for like $18,000, like absolutely mint. And now like 3-4 years later, $27,000, and like they have like 300,000 kilometers on them. This thing doesn't even have 150,000 yet. I actually think I just got to 147,000 kilometers. Yeah, I'm literally at 147,000 on the dot. It just rolled over. And everywhere online that I was looking at these things, I can't find anything with mileage this low. So if prices stay where they are, and I change the windshield, I change the back window, rocker panels, cab corners, bedsides, finish all the bodywork, clean the paint up and everything, not to mention the engine in this thing has already been completely rebuilt with a forged crank and a stage 2 clutch, which is, you know, supposed to handle like 800 horsepower or something. And then with the tune and junk running 91 octane, it's supposed to be around 418 horsepower. Keeping in mind these things have 350 horsepower stock, so the fact that I have an extra 68 horsepower but then have also added an 8-inch lift plus all of the braces, heavy duty, everything, 37s. Like, this thing's slower than a stock truck because the power to weight ratio on this thing is less than something stock. Now, my ideal plan with the front end was I wanted to do the facelift front end. I wanted to get those kind of 4th gen looking headlights or whatever, those aftermarket ones. And then I wanted to do the 4th gen front bumper. But now looking at the prices of these things, I don't know if I want to spend more money on things that aren't necessarily going to increase resale value. Because realistically, all I need are 2 fenders, 2 headlights, a grille, and then the 4th gen front bumper. And then I could probably find something online for the sizing and dimensions of the brackets that you have to make. But if not, then those are readily available as well. You could just buy those. And I can't remember if I mentioned in an older video or not, but the paint that's on the front of this is literally just random matte black paint that I had. And then the last 2 coats that I did were with 2 cans of a matching brand. So at least it had like a uniform finish. So the actual like matte satin black paint that I have for the front end, I was saving for the facelift front end. So if I were to be doing that, I have to repaint the entire thing. And I don't know, it's just tons of work. Like, it depends on how this channel goes for what happens with this truck, because if you guys find this stuff interesting, you know, like the video, obviously, because then I know that you guys like it, and then I'll make an effort to try and keep making these videos. And the more of you get subscribed, then YouTube will actually pay me for this stupid shit. Then I can literally make a living off of recording the slow decline of my mental health for the entertainment of others. Oh, what a glamorous life. The way I see it right now is if I finish cleaning it up just the way that it is, finish all the body work, get the new windows in, and just kind of button it up from where I left off a few years ago and just finish with the parts that I currently have, aside from the 2 windows that I have to replace. And at the current prices that like this specific model truck are going for, then by the time this thing's done, maybe next year, I'm probably sitting on like $30,000-$35,000 worth of truck. I don't know. You can see that the bed is completely level. The front is sitting higher, obviously. I can't remember if I actually showed the measurements before, but it's literally sitting an 1.5 inches higher in the front. You know, old suspension, like I had mentioned, 1.5 inches is going to be dead level, and I even threw that level on there, and it was completely level. Realistically, I couldn't be happier with this makeshift 5-inch rough country lift kit converted to an 8-inch lift with some Bilstein shocks. I don't know, I'm just kind of rambling at this point. Yeah, this video is probably getting pretty long, so let's actually make a poll. If you think that I should continue working on the truck, do the facelift and everything, and make a lot more videos of it, then like the video. If you think that I should just clean it up and sell it, and then buy something else and start a whole new project, then dislike the video. Because realistically, when it comes down to it, I'm conflicted. I love having the truck around, but at the same time, it gets like 10 miles per gallon in the summer and 8 miles per gallon in the winter. And the only thing I really need from it is the bed. I could buy something else. So if I finish this up next year and then sell it, then that's a pretty hefty down payment for something else. If more of you dislike this video, then I'm only going to do the essentials. But if more of you like the video, then I'm going to make way more videos of this truck until it is completely done 100%, and then we'll move on to something else. As it sits right now, once I have that rear window changed, I'm not really going to be working on this that much. I have the A3 to finish. I got the Q7 to finish. I have that E36 that the whole project basically just completely stopped because winter and life, and I gotta work on a stupid goddamn house. And since this is my daily driver, this became priority to get most of it finished. Short story long here. Like the video, dislike the video, subscribe because that helps out a lot, or don't do any of it. I'm not telling you what to do.